Hey guys, how you doing? So today we are going to talk about a very important topic. We will try to understand what is phishing, and we will try to understand how the advent of modern generative AI is enhancing this threat by several times, right? The real dangers of AI do not lie in machines coming to dominate us, but in scams, small things like these, which impact common people on a daily basis, which are already impacting common people on a daily basis, right? So let's begin by first understanding what phishing is. What is phishing? Phishing is one of the most prevalent cybercrime techniques where attackers impersonate legitimate organizations or individuals to trick people into divulging sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, financial details. This typically occurs through fraudulent emails, text messages, fake websites, or even phone calls aiming to exploit human trust and curiosity, right? So you get an email saying, urgent, your PayPal account is blocked. And apparently that email might be coming from a email ID, which is kind of a fake email ID, and a common man might not be able to understand. Uh, I have just made a video about how to recognize fake email IDs and URLs in an attempt to share some information. You can check that out on my channel. However, you get a fake message, you get a fake email, you get it whatever, right? You click on the link, and that's it. That's another fake website. How to recognize that site? There are several ways. You can watch my other videos. And then you end up sharing your information on those websites, right? You end up logging in or entering your password or entering your card details or something like that, right? So what is happening is those details are kind of going to the scammers, right? So they'll get those details and then probably divert you to the real website, right? And that's how they have all the details which they can do whatever they want to do, right? And that's just one of the ways, right? So there's so many ways these people try to fish your personal information, and that's where this kind of word comes from, right? So now we are the reason I'm making this video today. This is about generative AI. What we understand by AI today is kind of generative AI, right? So we're going to understand the kind of role generative AI is playing in phishing. Uh, so from where I understand there are risks of AI, and people are kind of involved in the politics. However, this is where the real game is happening. The common man is getting impacted on a daily basis, right? So educating ourselves, because politicians are not going to do it. They're gonna worry. They're gonna they're gonna talk about like trillions of dollars, but yeah, if you and me lose few thousands, then you know we are screwed, right? So let's understand, right, the rise of generative AI in phishing, right? In recent years, phishing attacks have evolved beyond the simple, often easily recognizable scam emails that people were once used to. The advent of generative AI has changed the landscape of phishing by enabling cyber criminals to create highly sophisticated, personalized, and deceptive attacks, and at scale, right? That's the keyword here again. Generative AI refers to AI systems that can generate text, images, audio, or video that mimic human creativity. When applied to phishing, this technology allows attackers to craft emails, phone calls, or even video and voice messages that are more convincing than traditional scams. Imagine you are getting a call, and this is more about the seniors. I'm more worried about my parents, right? That's why I make such videos, because I mean, your parents, my parents, parents of parents, right? We are all gonna get old and someone need to help us. So the point is, what happened was I'll tell you more, right? So how generative AI is enhancing phishing attacks. So they have all the information, right? So what they do is generative AI can process vast amounts of personal data from publicly available sources on social media, blogs, and other online platforms. With this information, AI can tailor phishing messages that are highly personalized, right? So what does that mean? Making them appear legitimate and trusted. For instance, it can replicate writing style of a friend, colleague, or even a CEO within an organization, making it much harder for victim to spot the scam. So, for example, my cousin messaging my mother from Dubai, asking her for money as he's in some trouble, using the same words, same tone, same language, right? Just because now AI has the power to study all his profiles, all his data on the internet and create a kind of character, which can be exploited uh, to do something to people that that he knows from his contact list or whatever, right? So this has already happened in my family. uh, this level of personalization increases the likelihood of successful phishing attempt. In fact, AI powered phishing campaigns are achieving click rates as high as 54% compared to 12% of traditional phishing emails, right? So in an email which is highly personalized by AI, right? They have all the information, and it's not only about understand. So at the back of AI, all the computing resources, all the processing resources, the libraries are kind of available to public, right? So I can use it in a lot of ways. The kind of power which is in access, right, is is mind blowing right now. And to run these kind of spams or scams is getting easier by the day, because the level of information that the machines can process now is amazing, right? Overcoming language barriers. Generative AI can also generate phishing content in multiple languages, allowing attackers to target global audience, right? So they are not limited to any geography. Since AI can craft emails or messages in a native like tone and structure, it reduces the chances of errors that might make a phishing attempt obvious. As a result, people from different parts of the world, regardless of their language, are now equally vulnerable. Now, in the example where my cousin was calling my mother, now imagine this was might have been a Nigerian native. It can be a scam running from Mexico. It could have been from Cambodia. Accent of the caller does not matter anymore. You don't need to hire someone who can speak English. You don't need to actually hire anyone. All you need to do is make a clone voice, and you don't need to worry about training. You don't need to worry about well, any linguistics, right? You just clone a voice and put it over the phone, and you don't even need to know the language. The AI is gonna do it shit, right? So I mean, of course, I mean, there is only thing I can do and say again and again is you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful because I mean, all I can do is spread some information, right? And that's what I'm doing here, right? So yeah, so just be mindful that these attacks can now happen from anywhere in the world. They're so easy to do that the scammers would not even need to kind of hire people to do it, right? So they are not even, the risk is much lower. I can be sitting in my basement somewhere in the jungle using a AI bot to clone some voice and making calls one after the other. And earlier you would have to need to hire like 100 people, right, to do the job, right? Because someone needs to be calling someone, right? And then even those people were not convincing enough because they were speaking in weird accents maybe and all those things. But now this is gonna be a thing of your, because AI is gonna to do the talking and it's gonna get better and better. So you understand where I'm coming from, right? Voice and audio impersonation. One of the most alarming developments in generative AI phishing is the ability to generate realistic voice messages. With advancements of AI driven voice synthesis, scammers can now create phone calls or voice messages that sound like they're coming from a trusted source. For instance, AI can mimic the voice of a colleague, boss, or even a government official, making the scam even more convincing. So that's what we were talking about, right? This has been demonstrated in recent high profile cases such as AI-driven scam where Italian business leaders were deceived by an AI-generated voice pretending to be a government official requesting funds for a supposed cause. Such attacks not only exploit trust but can also result in massive financial losses. And let's not forget about mental harassment and the trauma, right? I mean, it's traumatic. The danger of deepfakes in phishing. Generative AI is also powering deepfake technology, which can create manipulated videos and images. I mean, deepfakes are nothing new. Manipulated videos and images are part of our yore. However, AI is just adding another layer and making it easier than ever to create them, right? So I would not demonize AI for deepfakes. However, I would agree that it is kind of making it easier. So we have to be more careful, right? In phishing scams, deepfakes could be used to produce fraudulent videos that impersonate company executives or government officials, providing even more layers of authenticity to the scam. Preventive measures against AI-powered phishing. While the rise of generative AI in phishing presents significant challenges, there are steps individuals and organizations can take to protect themselves. Skepticism and verification. I mean, that's the only step that I kind of would know of right now, right? Be cautious of unsolicited communications asking for sensitive information. Always verify the request through different channels, especially when it involves money transfers, account credentials, or personal data. Educate and train. Regular training on recognizing AI-driven phishing attempts can help individuals stay aware of evolving threat landscape. Awareness programs should emphasize recognizing personalized messages, unexpected communication, and suspicious links, right? So this is what I'm trying to do, right? Maybe the idea is that you will share this video with your parents, with maybe like in a corporate. That's where your teams would need to be educated. At your home, your parents would need to be educated. Maybe your kids would need to be educated. There is no other way. Information is the only way to fight this, that how to recognize these things. And there's no, I mean, yeah, so we have to spread the information at a lot of levels here, right? Right. So again, stay updated, keep abreast of the latest phishing tactics, particularly those involved AI-generated content. As AI technology evolves, so will the phishing methods. So continuous learning and adapting security practices are essential, right? So yeah, that's probably about it for this video, right? So the point I was trying to make here was, number one, to spread some information about that, how people are vulnerable to phishing attacks. I wanted people to know what a phishing attack is, because in India, they're getting more and more common. And then, of course, get some eyeballs for my channel, and hopefully get some success as a creator, right? So do check out some videos that I have created in an attempt to educate people about digital scams, online frauds, and stuff like that. And of course, all the food videos that I make. Yeah, enjoy.